Guys, I never thought I would say this in my 25 years of life. The New York Knicks have finally won the NBA championship. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I cannot believe this. Max got on Jalen Brunson, the GOAT. The GOAT. I got on Josh Hart. Earl, a little bit of the throwback there with Carmelo Anthony and Jay.
He's got the shirt.
He got a Super Bowl shirt on. He got a championship shirt on. I like it. I fuck with it. What team is that, though? I can't see the team.
Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears. I like it. I fuck with it. We fuck with the Chicago Bears. Well, guys. Holy crap, man.
Sorry, Bears.
Earl wanted to start off this segment with a short story that he brought from his childhood that he was never allowed to tell anybody in his life prior to this moment. And when the Knicks won, Earl gave me a call and he told me this story. So, Earl, take
Lock in. Tell us about yours.
Everybody, if you've been watching for a long time, you know I'm probably around 56 years old, man. I've been on this earth for a long time. And
you were taking a few years.
Oh, man.
I was here for the first championship run, man. Give or take a few years. We were around a little bit. But when I was a kid, man, I made a deal. I sat down and I prayed, man. I said, man, if we can win a championship, I'll give up anything, man. And the biggest thing that came to my mind was I had to leave. If I gave up my fandom, the Knicks would win. He didn't give me a year, but it was in the 20s, man. And look where we are now, man. So all the Knicks fans out there, bro, I love y'all all. I'm glad we were able to win this championship and lock in. Shout out to Jalen Brunson, man. Going into next year, best guard in the NBA, bro. Top 5 player, no doubt. No arguments there. Best leader in the NBA. OG Anunoby. I need y'all to take that hand and attach that hand to the Statue of Liberty of him doing the putback. That's what we need, bro. I don't really care where you put it. We need the OG hand on the Statue of Liberty. And shout out to the real New York fans who didn't tear down the city. I think the best video example I seen when everybody was singing the song together and it was like a crowd full of people. That's love, bro. But that's all I gotta say, man. Shout out to the Knicks, the OG Knicks fans out there. Shout out to all the Knicks fans, bro. And man, what a run.
You know what they really need to do for Lady Liberty? They need to make a super huge number 11 jersey and throw that thing on the Statue of Liberty. And she's rocking number 11 for at least the parade day. That would be so crazy. Calm. That would be so cool.
CGI it, bro. Put some drones up there like they do.
They definitely could do that.
Omar and Max, I gotta hear from y'all, man. This is the first. I don't know. You guys weren't doing BTB in 2020, right?
No, we didn't.
So this is the first.
This is y'all's first one.
Yeah, this is the first on the pod to actually witness a championship. First, actually fans of a team. I got to hear from y'all, man. Y'all talk to us, man.
Max, talk to us.
How y'all feeling?
Max, start it off, man.
It's an incredible feeling. It's a really incredible feeling. You know, I never really thought about the fact that we do this podcast and we talk about the NBA, so I never really thought about what I would come on here and say if the Knicks ever did win a championship. Just because I've been a fan of the team for, I guess this is like my 12th, 13th year, my first ever Knick game. I told this at the first BTB pod that we ever did, but my first Knick game that I ever watched was during the Linsanity run, the Jeremy Lin game winner against the Toronto Raptors in Toronto back in, I guess, 2012 it would have been. So from that moment on, I've been a Knicks fan, so I owe a lot to Jeremy Lin. I'm very thankful for him that he had that run, he had that moment. If he does not hit that shot on that day, I don't know that I'm a Knicks fan. So I owe that man a lot. I'm glad that he got to be a part of this run, and I saw him on ESPN a bunch, you know, being an analyst working the games, which was super cool. Obviously still very much beloved in the city. So I've been a fan since then. It was a lot of rough years, especially when I started. You know, I can remember being in middle school and, you know, people hating on the Knicks, hating on Melo, you know. Even though I lived near New York, there wasn't like there were some Knicks fans, but not many that were like quite as like locked in as I was. Like a lot of casual Knicks fans, but I was watching a lot of the games. I was keeping track of things. Like I was really up on the Knicks, even in like elementary, middle school. So, you know, had a lot of those rough years, and it took a while for me, you know, to even just get back to the playoffs. I remember how big a deal that was back in 2021, just being a good team and being in the playoffs again and just winning one game against the Atlanta Hawks. Like that felt like the world to me back then. So it's crazy how the expectations kind of since then every year have just kind of ratcheted up and up and up to where it was like we won our first playoff series against the Cavs in 23, and that felt like just pure euphoria. Like, that was basically like winning the finals for me back then, because I'd never seen or at least I hadn't seen the Knicks win a playoff series in 10 years.
Felt good.
So that was, it's like going from that to now we're a conference finalist, or like, you're a semifinalist team a couple years ago, and then you're a conference finals team, and beating Boston last year, even like that was like a new high for me. Like, obviously Knicks Celtics, big rivals. So taking down the Celtics in the way that we did, that was such a huge deal. It's like that upped the level. And then, last year thinking about, we're in the conference finals. We were 2 games away from the NBA finals, thinking about what an NBA finals appearance would be like. And so now to achieve that this year, like, obviously I celebrated in the moment, like after game 4 against the Cavs in the conference finals, but I knew that, there was a part of me that was thinking like that might be the last time that I get to celebrate this run, because it's been such a great run. But if, we play the Thunder or we play the Spurs, and, we might get swept. We might get gentlemen swept. Like, it might be, maybe there'll be a heartbreaking game 7 moment. Like, I was kind of mentally prepared for what was ahead. But I would be lying if I didn't think that, obviously I knew that winning was a possibility, but I knew it was going to be a challenge. And the Spurs gave the Knicks all they could handle. Even this legendary Knicks team, they got pushed to their absolute limits by the Spurs team every single game of the 5-game series. There was not one bad game. There was not one easy win. So I just tried to kind of, very much like the Knicks team, just stay the course. Just keep in mind that, it's never over till it's over. Even when we were up 2-0, even when we were up 3-1, it's something really bad could happen here. And, like, enjoy it now, but I'm not going to really take it in until it's over. And then it was over. And so I'm having a whale of a time taking it in right now. It's like, I don't think it has truly sunk in yet. I think the best part is that we get to be the defending champions for the next year. And, like, all summer long, only one team gets to win the last game of the year, right? So this is a new feeling for me. Like, the year is over, and it's like, I'm not thinking about the offseason. I'm not thinking about this terrible loss we took at the end. It's like, Knicks fans just get to ride this high for the next 3 months, 3.5 months until the season starts. And then, even then, like,
years,
whatever happens to the Knicks in years future, of course, as soon as next year starts, I'm going to be hoping they win, more success, do it again, repeat, all that stuff, defend the championship, which no team has done since the Golden State Warriors successfully defended their title. But I just wanted it to happen once. I just wanted, at some point, to see the New York Knicks win an NBA championship, and now that's happened. So anything from here on out is gravy.
As the man says, what's that line? It's I can die peacefully now. Yeah, I can die peacefully now. Yeah, that's what it is. I can die peacefully now. Look, man. First off, we got to talk about how miraculous of a series that really was. When you talk about, and you know what, I got to get the video to play it on screen soon, but I think the Knicks were the only team in history to beat a team in 5 games while also leading at least 10 down going into each game. Like, they lost the lead each game. They didn't show up till the second quarter. That's Jalen Brunson's words, not mine. And they always prevailed, whether it was 16, whether it was 29. And we can even talk about the one loss we had that series where we weren't even down 29. Like, we were down less than that and we lost. So it's one of those things that was, like, really, really miraculous, and it was kind of a shock to see, right? For me, didn't really hit till about, like, 4 a.m., right? Was what I happened to be working overnight that night. I don't think Max slept anyways, but
I was in bed. I think I was in bed by 3. I think I got to bed by 3.
Regardless of the fact, I was on the clock, so your boy couldn't sleep regardless.
Yeah, because you thought we were going to lose that game, didn't you? So you
I really did. I was saying Knicks in 6 since the beginning. I mean, and I thought it would be in 6, but hey, we beat them in 5. What do I care? Prove me wrong if you're going to do it sooner. Man, it is somewhat a crazy feeling to be a champion, to be the championship team now, because we've been clowned for so many years, being called
Like, yep, poverty franchise. Like the owners don't even care about the fans. The players take off whenever the hell they want to. Like, bro, I don't think you understand. And I don't think people understand how much it meant to Knicks fans to have Iman Shumpert there. Because just doing the podcast, bro, I used to have this mini hoop at my house when I was like 6 years old. I would try my best to create this man's dunks that he would do on my TV, like him and J.R. Smith, because Melo couldn't dunk for shoot in New York, but he could shoot the ball.
He had a few dunks.
Yeah, there was a little like a little light dunk here, but when I'm thinking of Melo, you're not thinking of a powerful dunker. You're thinking of J.R. Smith on that team. But man, I mean, it meant a lot for like Iman Shumpert to be there. It meant a lot for Patrick Ewing to be there. And by the way, for the people that are saying that Patrick is a better all-time player than Jalen Brunson, guys, the only ring Patrick won is the one that Jalen just got for him, because he's technically a part of the team and he's an ambassador, so he technically gets a ring. Same thing with John Starks. Y'all, they were I'm not saying they were bad, but they were the epitome of what we were talking about from the years to come. We were looking at Walt Clyde Frazier and Willis Reed talking about the greatest Knicks of all time, but then those guys were talking about, nah, it's Patrick. And they're like, okay, if it's Patrick, then Jalen. Like, Jalen. But it's just crazy, man. It's crazy to think that we're probably watching the best Knick to play ever, and nobody's really batting an eye towards it. Everybody's really taking it in. New Yorkers are happy with one another. I wouldn't say other fan bases. But, you know, New Yorkers have been nice. Like, I've been stopped a couple of times in my local Stop and Shop to talk about Knicks because I have, like, stuff on. Like,
they've been nice to other New Yorkers.
Oh, yeah.
They've been jumping Spurs fans.
Well, I'll say this. There's a couple of that on both sides. I saw a couple of videos coming out of San Antonio where they were jumping Knicks fans.
Oh, no. The police was even telling them, hey, yo, if you go there, we can't help you. Like,
that's to get back.
That was crazy.
You know what? At first I thought that, but then I saw them actually beat up an old man, so that was kind of insane. Under no circumstances should you do that.
Where we
I know
the
Knicks
guys,
fans
the
did
old
that.
Man.
You shouldn't, though.
You should. Anyway, man.
He's having a conversation. You can't go up and sucker punch the man.
You're going to the parade on Thursday, no?
Yes, I am.
Will you be ripping off?
You gonna make the trip up, hit the parade?
Sorry, my bad.
You gonna make the trip up, come to the parade, or?
Omar, you have to go drunk.
I'm retired, man. I'm an alumni.
At 6 a.m., brother?
I'm alumni.
It starts at 6 a.m.?
It starts I'm going in at 6 a.m., but it starts
you want to be like at the front gate.
I
want to be at City Hall. So when they're getting the key to the
you better
city,
go at midnight the night before. 7 p.m. the night before.
Honestly, as soon as we end this podcast,
you might want to go somewhere.
Yeah, 2 days before. Yeah,
pack a little bag.
They're actually patrolling the streets and they're making people get out of the area. If there's a batch of people sleeping in the streets or anything like that, get the fuck out. Leave.
Jay, what's your thoughts on this as a neutral, I'd say. As a neutral in this series.
So I got a lot of thoughts, man. First off, congrats to the Knicks. Congrats to my fellow BTB boys, man. They deserve this, bro. I think up there with the Milwaukee Bucks, I had a lot of doubts in the New York Knicks. Like, I always was just like, it's the same old Knicks. They had that point in the season where they're on an 11-game win streak, and they went on an 8-game losing streak where they're just up and down. I'm not sure how good they really are. And then we had the argument going into last season, not this season, going into last season. I had Brunson outside the top 10 after having another incredible playoffs, and everybody got on me for it. And I said Brunson's barely a top 5 guard, and he proved me wrong. He proved Nick Wright wrong, Becky Hammond, Stephen A. Smith. He proved everybody wrong, and he's literally the best guard in the NBA. I think that it's just what it is right now.
Better than
Like
Shaq.
even in the last 5 years, he's the most clutch player in the NBA, even including playoffs. He's the most clutch player in the NBA. It is what it is. You can argue with the wall. The stats don't lie. The eye test doesn't lie. The championship now does not lie. Finals MVP. It's unbelievable the run the Knicks just went on, man. I have a lot of Knicks fans in my life. Honestly, I have a whole bunch of fans from New York. They were down here watching the game with me. He had on his Eric Emanuel Knicks shorts, his Knicks hat. He was nicked out in the house. So I was definitely rooting more for the Knicks than the Spurs in this series because the Spurs don't want to be young. They're going to be here for the next 5 years. I don't really care if they win it this year or not. The Knicks this is their. I don't want to say this is their last chance because they're going to have the same team for the next 2 to 3 years, but they had to win this one, man, against a young Spurs team.
They had to.
All the momentum. They had to win this one, and they got it done. I'm so happy for them. Like, I am genuinely happy that the Knicks won. And I was happy last year when OKC won because I at the moment, Shea was my favorite player. So I'm not mad at any of these championships in the last couple years. Like, even though my Bulls aren't winning, to see this city like this, I love New York. I told you guys I went there last August. Definitely the best city I've ever been to in my life. Visiting-wise, I would never live there because it's too much traffic, too much people. It's too much. That shit's too much.
I wouldn't live there, and I'm right around the corner.
It's amazing. I love New York. It's amazing. The people are all amazing there. Great hospitality every time I go to New York. I don't know if I can speak for San Antonio fans. They beat the shit out of you guys up there, but it was just great vibes in New York, man. I'm so happy for this city. Even Celebro, like Spike Lee, Ben Stiller, Chalamet, Mariska, like all the celebrities there, like they're actually diehard Knicks fans. Like there's some Taylor Swift. Shout out to Taylor Swift. I don't know where,
I saw a post or Twitter post talking about how much money Spike Lee has spent on his Knicks tickets in his life, upwards of $10 million.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, I think that's conservative. I think there's probably
well
over $10 million.
You know what's crazy? I stumbled upon a video that was 7 years old, like 2 days ago. Right? It came from ESPN. It has to relate. I'll get there. It was Spike Lee on First Take. He was talking to Stephen A. And this was during the time where James Dolan gave him an issue about going in a certain.
And he said he was done with Knicks games, and I remember that.
He never followed through on that, which I was happy about. But
he didn't go for a little while though. He chilled out for a little bit on Knicks games.
Yeah, because the team also
trying to pat Spike down. Like they were like, "What the hell?" Yeah, I remember that story.
James Dolan came up to him and was like, "Hey, we need to talk." Spike didn't even move. He was like, "Nah, it's the same." They went back and forth about this exit, and then they were talking about how much he spent on Knicks tickets that year alone.
The exit
spent about $2,000 to $3,000 a game.
Yeah,
$299,000 total, something like that on Knicks tickets, courtside, same spot.
I think he said the tickets are about $300,000 a year. And again, I'm surprised. If
I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't.
Look, man, if I'm paying $300K a year, I better have my own insurance.
Exactly. Like them even trying
I better get my ring.
Them even trying to mess with Spike and him going through the tunnel. Like, move out my way. I'm Spike Lee. But this is a test to the fandom and
chased after him.
Everybody coming together in New York. It's literally amazing to see. Like, we're not gonna see nothing like this ever again. In terms of crazy, unless it's Lakers fans. Lakers fans are unbelievable as well.
I will interject here and say I have to pose a question to everybody. Wow. Do you guys think this is literally the only chance that the Knicks have ever?
No,
because if anything,
I mean, ever is a stretch, man.
Yeah, but okay, I'll say this: in the next 2 to 3 years, do you guys think it's absolutely impossible?
I remember seeing Fergus Douglas, and he told me that the Knicks would win a championship. Telling you, bro.
This year, if anything, it kind of doubled down my feeling that they could win again in the next 2 to 3 years. I don't know if it'll happen because we've had so many champions in the past couple of years. I don't know if the NBA wants to fuck that up in any degree. However, man, the way they dominated teams, it's not the fact that they beat these teams, they dominated them. Any type of life that Philly had, snuffed out. Any type of life Cleveland had, snuffed out. Any type of life Atlanta had, snuffed out. Like, it's crazy.
The Hawks did put up the best fight.
And not to mention, San Antonio, same fucking shit, 4-1. And like it just makes me feel like the way that this team is coming together, they put the perfect team around Jalen Brunson. They put the perfect defensive pieces around him to make sure that this was possible. They need to retain this bench.
He's also not a cone anymore. I've been
telling you all that.
And no, Omar, you have, but you were saying that he's like one of the best defensive guards. He leads the league in charges. That was terrible. But he's absolutely not a cone, though. Like, he's playing 43 minutes, and his team is holding people under 100 points. And he's on the court for only not 5 minutes. So he got to be a part of that. So shout out Jalen Brunson. You're not a cone. You're officially off cone watch. You're not a cone anymore.
And so is Karl Anthony Towns. And I think his defensive transformation probably won't get talked about enough in the grand scheme of this playoff run, but he really stepped up in a big way in these 19 playoff games that the Knicks played. And that was one of my biggest criticisms of Karl Anthony Towns even at the midway point of this season. I think I think it was during when we did that two-part podcast, or we did like that two-part episode of like what's wrong with the Knicks, which aged great clearly.
Right.
But I think it was during that where we talked about how poor defensively Karl Anthony Towns has been and how he was legitimately one of the worst defensive centers in all basketball. And I think I said that like when you have Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, two poor defenders playing most of your minutes, how are you going to be able to win games? And Karl Anthony Towns, again, like you guys said, Jalen Brunson shows so much effort on defense. He's never going to be a phenomenal one-on-one defender, but he stepped up and made it so that teams at least did not hunt him defensively, which was good. But Karl Anthony Towns took on some major defensive assignments this playoffs. He had to guard Joel Embiid, a hobbled Embiid, but still Joel Embiid. He had to guard Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley. He had to guard Victor Wembanyama. And in all three of those series, he stood his ground. He was protecting the rim. I think he got like 1 to 2 blocks a game, which if you watch the Knicks in the regular season, a Karl Anthony Towns block was like one of the rarest things that could happen in a Knicks game. Like that was maybe once every 20 games Karl Anthony Towns would get a block at the rim. He was consistently blocking shots 1 to 2 a game throughout this whole playoff run. He bodied up. He played physical. There were stretches where he played without fouling. Obviously in the Spurs series, especially Game 5, not as much. The silly fouls did still creep in. But by and large, Victor Wembanyama did not have a good series. Jarrett Allen did not have a good series. Joel Embiid did not have a good series. And a lot of that was because of the effort Karl Anthony Towns put in defensively, while still having to carry a heavy load offensively as well. So I want to give credit where credit is due there. And that, he stepped up that level of defense. Again, he's never going to be a Chet Holmgren. He's never going to be a Victor Wembanyama. But the fact that he and Jalen Brunson were able to carry their own weight, basically, not be defensive liabilities, I think really changed this run for the Knicks. And I don't think we're talking about the Knicks as NBA champions, if not for the defense of Karl Anthony Towns, especially on Victor Wembanyama. And we're going to talk about Wemby, I'm sure, but like there was not one game or one stretch, one fourth quarter stretch where we saw Wembanyama really take over and really dominate. And that's really, really hard. Just ask OKC Thunder. They got 40. Wemby dropped 40 on them multiple times, at least once, if not multiple times.
Game 1.
So
to add to that,
Anthony Towns was able to put a halt to that in the NBA Finals on the biggest stage. Huge credit to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. To add to that, I was gonna say like the biggest thing that kind of attributes to what Karl Anthony Towns has been doing is those 2 early fouls that he keeps getting every single game. If you watch Knicks games consistently, you'll see this happen where Karl Anthony Towns always in the first quarter he will get 2 early fouls. It's almost intentional, like by the amount that he does it. But like it's consistent enough to the point where it takes him out of the games, takes him out of his rhythm, and that's how. Honestly, that's why I thought we were going to lose Game 5 because Victor took him out of the game. He got fouled out.
Unfortunately, Mitch Robinson's the best backup in the league. Like
I can't say enough about that guy.
He has a fucking broken finger and he's still getting rebounds. Like
my fucking guy.
It's pretty crazy.
The embodiment of New York, right there.
Behind Jalen Brunson, Mitchell Robinson's probably my favorite player on this team, and he was my favorite Knicks player before Jalen Brunson came along. Has been doing his thing, but I've been a Mitch fan for, again, many years, and it was so awesome.
He's that guy.
It was so awesome to see him have that huge offensive rebound at the end of the game. Like, to have to come in for Towns for the last 2 minutes, like, I felt good knowing that Mitch was in there. It was poetic in a way that the longest tenured Knick, the guy who's been there 8 years, you know,
pay him.
He's had his up and downs.
They going heavy into that luxury
As a
tax.
player.
Mitch Robinson, he gets the Darvin Ham salute. You got.
I'll say this too about
Hands in
like
pockets and up here. Yep.
the biggest thing I feel like Karl-Anthony Towns, and I'm gonna bring this stat up a lot. I always got clown for this stat. By the way, it's not even a stat. It's just one word: effort. Every time I brought up like just in casual settings about like defense in your career, there's not a lot of NBA players who just take massive leaps on the defensive end late into their careers due to skill gained. It's effort. Like the same plays Karl-Anthony Towns wasn't willing to do in the regular season. I seen him when the game was on the line, when the playoffs came. He was making big shots, moving, rotating. We had plays where Karl-Anthony Towns is looking around, oh, is that my man? We talked about it on the pod consistently. He just looked lost out there.
Yes.
It's effort and intention. And I feel like Karl-Anthony Towns, that jump he took in the playoff, he became that player that they needed. He became the second player to Brunson to not only be a responsibility on the offense, but carry his weight on defense as well and stay on the floor. Like I was with Jay. We had long conversations about that. Like Jay said, like Max said, we had a pod where we just talked about like everything wrong with the Knicks and why this team doesn't work or whatever. Like we had long conversation about this. Almost arguments. We had a lot, yeah, about, and most of it was Towns. Like can they win with two? Well, we did use the word defensive liabilities. Yeah, we did. But to that point, like
Correction, y'all did.
Okay. You talked about Carl's defense too, and we can pull it up. But in general, I think a lot of people had concerns about his defense, but none of that matters until you get to the big stage. If you get to the big stage, you make big plays to help win games. Even inbound defense. He had some of the biggest inbound defense plays to win games in the playoffs, in the finals. And so when I look at that, everything you did in the regular season doesn't matter. I say this all the time. I do not care about the regular season. I know I get hate for that. I understand that. I don't care. Like, cool, regular season reward. I say it to Omar all the time. He gets mad at me sometimes. I don't care that you're the top 3 seed in your conference. I don't care. I want to see what happens when you go to the playoffs and you try to win and compete for a championship. And this year, the Knicks got over that hump and they did it. And I agree with Jay. I don't necessarily think like this is your last chance ever, like not to be that dramatic, Omar, to win a championship. I'm not saying all that. But what I am saying is when we talk about...
That was a little dramatic, but...
Yeah. But when we talk about
the next 2 to 3
windows... No, for sure. When we talk about windows, my biggest point was this. These Spurs are going to get a lot better. That's not saying you guys aren't. Oklahoma City Thunder, they're going to get better. They were injured in the playoffs this year. So you have teams who are hungry and younger, thriving to get back to this point. We hear the quotes from Wemby like, hey, I've gotten a taste of this. I don't want to see anything other than the finals. A little bit arrogant, a little bit cocky, yes.
I'm not going to lie. I don't like anything he has to say anymore.
Isn't that what Chris Paul said after 2021?
He said,
Chris Paul was
he was like, I'm addicted. I
can't
can't lose that feeling anymore.
Chris Paul was also not in the prime of his career, not 22-year-old.
He beat his addiction, so...
Very true.
Yes, I'm just saying.
Just to that point, do I think it's over for the Knicks? No. But I do think in the East next year, watching the playoffs in general, or watching the NBA in general next year, it's going to be the most exciting season I feel like
it's going to be in
10 years, and I'll stand on that. It's a lot of big names coming back.
So before we talk about the Spurs, because I know we've been talking about Knicks and this and that, before we even get into the Spurs, break them down what they should do next season or whatever the case may be. Was this not one of the best finals we've watched in the last couple years? I know last year went 7. Mm-hmm. We had Boston versus Mavs the year before. Did not like that finals personally.
Yuck.
Nuggets Miami. Did not like that finals personally.
Horrible.
I loved Warriors versus Celtics. I loved Suns versus Bucks. Lakers versus Heat was an okay series, even though Lakers dominated. They won.
Oh, yeah, we did that.
That series wasn't great. This is the best finals, I think, since like 2019, 2018. This finals was fire, in my opinion. Like, it was only 5. Yeah. Every game was the same, though. Knicks are getting their ass kicked, and they come back in the fourth quarter, heroic Jalen Brunson for it. Like, this finals was so amazing, in my opinion, bro. I remember every single game of this finals. I remember game 1, the shitty Brunson shooting game, and then he hits everything in the fourth. I remember game 2. Was it game 2 where the Knicks won game 2?
Game 2 was the Wemby missed free
passed
throws,
it off his back.
throw it off Castle's back.
Game 3, Spurs bounced back, end up winning late. Game 4, same thing again. Wemby misses free throws late. Steph Castle, or De'Aaron Fox goes for the layup, blocked by OG, tipped by OG. This finals is amazing. It gave us literally 5 memorable moments, and it was only a 5-game series. That's how good this finals was.
Moment again.
But just to ask, how did you guys think the finals was, in your opinion?
Before we do that, I wanted to show you guys this video of this guy talking about how dominant the 2026 New York Knicks was. I think this is a good listen. Can we take a minute and listen to it real fast?
How long is the video?
1:42.
Whew. I guess.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Are the New York Knicks simply built different? This thought occurred to me last
That's too much at home.
Is he sitting on the toilet?
That means they've overcome double-digit deficits in all 4 of their finals games. 14 points in Game 1, 12 points in Game 2, 29 points in Game 4, and finally 16 points in Game 5. Has any other team done this? To find this out, I pulled game data on every single NBA game since 1997, the start of the play-by-play era, to find out that no other team has done this. The New York Knicks are the only team in NBA Finals history to win all 4 of their finals games from double-digit deficits. The only other team that comes close to doing this is the 2006 Miami Heat against the Mavericks, with 3 out of their 4 finals wins coming from double-digit deficits. What if you expanded to all other NBA playoffs games? Surely there must be one other NBA team that overcame a double-digit deficit in all 4 of their wins within a single matchup. Well, if you expand the data to include all NBA playoff games, you'll find that there is indeed one other team to have done this: the 2024 New York Knicks against the 76ers, the first year with Jalen Brunson as captain. Now, the most recent team to have 3 out of their 4 wins from double-digit deficits, the 2025 New York Knicks against the Celtics. Now, if you were to rank teams by the total number of comeback points in all winning playoff games, the number 1 team would be the 2026 New York Knicks, overcoming a combined 138-point deficit across this entire postseason, making the New York Knicks truly a second-half team, and Jalen Brunson the indisputable Captain Clutch.
There you go. But cool numbers there. I think, looking at how this team made comebacks, it's, if what makes it even better, I think the fact that the 29-point finals comeback happened, and now for this Knicks team to hold the record, what makes that even better is the fact that it wasn't just kind of a fluky one-off thing. This has been the DNA of this Knicks team for the last couple of years, and even the team this year. This is what they do. And if you've been a Knicks fan for the last 3-4 years, if you've been watching a lot of their games, never to count this team out, and you've seen this team do it before. And it's it gets to the point where no matter how much they're down, even as a fan, you feel like you have a chance and you know what's coming. And so we've been watching this team, come back. They came back from 2 20-point deficits against Boston last year. They came back from 22 against Cleveland in the conference finals this year. They had those double-digit comebacks in the first few games of the finals. So it's this Knicks team just kept upping the ante of what was possible. And to do it in the big, do it in the grandest fashion, the 29-point comeback, it felt earned. It didn't just feel fluky. It felt like this is what this team does. This is kind of the attitude. This is the leadership that Jalen Brunson has, and the belief that the whole roster has, that no matter how much time is on the clock, no matter what the score is, there's still a chance. So that is really cool to see, them kind of having cemented their place in history. And to answer your question about the finals, Jay,
yeah.
I feel like I'm the wrong person to ask, because obviously I love this finals. Great finals. I had a great time. But it is. I'm glad that it was an enjoyable series for everyone. As great as it would have been for the Knicks to just dominate every game and have a 4-0 sweep, win a championship. It is cool that this team will be remembered for some of those really cool moments. Like the 29-point comeback. That's almost better than blowing teams out. Having all those close down to the wire games and clutch shots from Brunson and Towns and OG Anunoby. Having those moments and making it not just a series that we won, but a memorable series, one that's going to be talked about for years to come. That, I feel like that's the cherry on top of the whole experience. So that's my take on it. And I know you guys talked about the window for the Knicks, or what things look like going forward. I will say that coming into this series, once the Knicks once the Knicks beat the Cavs, but even a little bit before that, once it kind of looked like things were trending for the Knicks to go to the finals, I believed that this was going to be the Knicks' best chance to win a championship. Going into the series, I thought to myself that if this team is going to win, it's got to be this year, because so much has to go right to win a championship. I mean, you think about the injury luck that the Knicks had all year, but especially in the playoffs. Jalen Brunson did not miss a game. Karl-Anthony Towns did not miss a game. Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, none of them missed games. The only Knick who missed real playoff time was OG Anunoby, and he only missed 2 games because he missed 2 games at the end of the Philadelphia series because the Knicks swept and gave him a week to recover. So if you're going to win a championship, you have to get lucky with injuries. Just ask the Thunder this year. If Jalen Williams and AJ Mitchell don't get hurt, they could easily be champions right now. So you have to get the injury luck. You're never getting the matchups, for the matchups to fall the way they did. Keep in mind, the Knicks were the 3 seed going into this playoffs, and they got home court advantage in all 3 of their Eastern Conference series. They played the 6 seed, they had the 7 seed win, and then the 4 seed win. That is the matchups fell perfectly. And again, all 3 of those series, the Sixers series, the Cavs series, and the Spurs series, all those series, that those teams were coming off of 7-game dogfights. So not only did the Knicks get home court advantage, they were catching teams at the end of grueling 7-game series. That will probably not happen again. The matchups fell their way perfectly, and you look at the teams that they could have faced out west, this Spurs team is only going to get better. This is as bad as Victor Wembanyama will be for probably the next 10 to 15 years, assuming he stays healthy. He's going to get better. That Spurs team is going to grow around him. The Thunder, they're going to keep their big 3 core for the next decade, and they have so many draft picks to rebuild around. The Thunder are only going to get better. This was the Knicks' chance to win a championship, and I think they, I don't want to say that they knew this is their chance, but they saw the opportunity, and I think this team really appreciated the fact that you don't know when you're going to get back. And we've talked about, when the Nuggets won their championship, everyone was ready to anoint them a dynasty. It's who's going to be able to beat the Nuggets? Yep. Then the Celtics won, and it was they're just going to roll the league the next 5 years. This is the best starting 5 the league has ever seen. They're unbeatable. Then the Thunder win last year, and it's the Thunder, you can just pencil them in for the next 10 NBA championships.
Yep.
You don't know when you're going to get another shot at it. And some of these teams that we thought would be back, like the Bucks, like the Phoenix Suns, like the Golden State Warriors, they haven't gotten back, and they might not get back for a long time. So I think this Knicks team recognized that this was their opportunity, and I think Jalen Brunson said it a bunch. The opportunity presented itself, and they took full advantage of it, and I could not be happier about that.
Yeah,
very well
said. You
said.
put it perfectly.
That was the most honest Knicks take I've ever heard in my life. Real talk. No, that's not a diss. I'm just saying, just putting into perspective of everything, the big playoff picture, about injuries and stuff, opportunities. I completely agree.
Yeah.
I think looking at the NBA, we're just in the era where, Omar brought up, there's been a different champion for the last 10 years, or maybe somewhere around that range. 8 years. Honestly,
pretty much post Golden State.
Oh yeah, post Golden State. You're right. I just think it's refreshing, man. Just seeing how this finals played out, and to answer Jay's question as well. This is the first finals in a while I watched every single game. I didn't miss a game. That's how exciting it was, seeing Jalen Brunson and Wemby match up for the entirety of the series. I literally, it's so many crazy moments. You're bro, watching Wemby throw that ball at Cass, I'm what in the world? Watching Jalen Brunson literally not miss a shot and take over and bring his team back down 29. Even the last game when the Knicks kind of, I don't want to use the word ran out of steam. Jalen Brunson we talk about him and being ball dominant as maybe a bad thing at times for the team in the regular season, but when it came down to him doing it to close out a series and win a game, he locked in. He was the guy who's okay, I know we have cushion, cool, but it ends tonight. There's no second chance for the Spurs. There's no going back and trying to win New York. We're ending it tonight. And he locked in and took over as a leader. And that was my biggest thing on this pod. I'll stand on it all the time. I say it. I always said it, Omar. Brunson is not a leader. To me, being a leader is earned. You earn the title of a leader by getting your team or the people you manage through whatever circumstance they have going on in the time of need. And he did that in this playoff run. Everything's earned, not given, man. And I think the Knicks earned their championship this year Jalen Brunson earned the title. And I don't know. I think Knicks fans should take this win, ride with it as long as you can. I think when you start thinking about, what's next, when we're in the next championship, it takes away from the fun. So I just say enjoy it, man. Shout out to the champs, bro, and I'm sure we got some funny Spurs stuff to talk about now too.
Yeah, we should move on to the Spurs because after all, this is an NBA podcast, not a New York Knicks podcast, right?
Well, today I differ.
So I mean, I wish I could differ.
It is the one day where the Knicks podcast memes are acceptable.
You know what? Agreed. However, we kind of have to talk about the downfall of the San Antonio Spurs because, like we mentioned throughout this entire podcast,
wow, no, it's funny.
Well, I mean, what do you call a meltdown of that type of proportion, Earl? Like, you're
just the
up
Fox
double
gate?
Digits each and every game, and you only managed to get one win?
Did you know that De'Aaron Fox was a Knicks fan growing up?
Oh yeah, that photo I sent you.
Did you guys know
Then he's got to be happy.
that he's a sleeper agent for Mike Brown? They made a deal.
Hey, De'Aaron, we got a 6-man position opening up. Pull
No,
up.
but like to start those conversations, man. De'Aaron Fox. Okay, I'll say this. First of all, wow. I think I could start there. Wow.
Can we acknowledge at the start that he is dealing with an ankle injury?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Stated. It doesn't excuse the shot at the end of Game 4. That was a mental thing, but he is dealing with it. The rest of the series, he is dealing with an ankle injury.
100%. I'm glad you put that out there, Max.
After that. So is that a mental thing or is that a coaching thing?
But ankle injury has no correlation to IQ. I'll say has no correlation to IQ, but you are right.
Shot's a bad shot.
At a core fundamentals, right? Trashing De'Aaron Fox for the entirety of what the Spurs are is a lazy take. If you watch last round, you seen the games where there was no De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle had 10 turnovers the first game, 9 turnovers the second game. I think at the core fundamentals of De'Aaron Fox, I think he's a great point guard and floor general for that team. They need him. And they needed him throughout this playoff series for big moments. What I will say is, I think his decision making in the clutch was not there. And that's coming from a dude who won Clutch Player of the Year. So I was very shocked at how many bad decisions he was making. Not only in that last game to close out did he miss 4 fourth-quarter shots in a row, with a chance to tie the game, he went for the 3. And, like, don't get me wrong. Cool, you go for the 3, you're the hero, you're up by 1. Facts. But we're talking about a dude who hadn't hit a shot in the last, 6 or 7 minutes of the game. Like, that's the dude we're talking about. You have a Julian Champagnie on this team who's been playing lights out in the playoffs. You have Devin Vassell maybe who can hit shots. Stephon Castle disappeared, cool. But you were brought in to be that leader. Like, you're the veteran that they brought in to keep these guys level-headed. And last thing I'll say before I pass the mic, it really doesn't have anything really to do with Fox, but I'm going to stand on this, man. If Chris Paul was on this team, I don't care. I'm pushing that narrative. Chris Paul had these boys hooping. Y'all remember, you remember how easy it was for Wemby to score when Chris Paul was playing on the Spurs? Mm-hmm. Like, when you needed an easy bucket, my biggest problem with the Spurs is the guards have no clue how to just get Wemby the ball with no pressure when called upon. They have no clue how to get Wemby easy buckets. Literally, they do it on accident. Like, oh, look, we threw a lot to Wemby. Why not do that 4 or 5 more times? They just go away from it. Oh, Stephon Castle, let me drive to the lane and take a contested layup and fall to the ground and hope for a foul. Horrible basketball, by the way. But I'll say this, bro. They need, going into next season, they need another veteran on this team, bro. That makes sense. I'm not saying get rid of Fox because that's a expensive and nasty contract to get rid of. I did actually talk to a Spurs reporter, though. Shout out to my guy, Jerry. He basically told me that, insider news, guys, here we go. He said that their plan is to try to rework his deal. I don't know what that looks like. Basically, the conversations was,
Probably not more money.
No,
for sure.
Lessen the deal. So that they can make the right moves to fix his team. We'll see what happens, though.
Do you guys see what's going around? How the Spurs owner's son, Holt Miller, commented on De'Aaron Fox's wife post saying, "Enjoy your last summer in San Antonio. Enjoy your last." I haven't.
No way.
I don't know how I didn't send that to the chat.
How old is this? Is this person?
Is this like a Shador Sanders? The kid stole the dad's phone number and fake drafted him type situation?
This
is a kid.
This is Holt Miller.
How old is this person?
Enjoy your last summer in San
Holt
Antonio. I don't know. He looks like in his 20s, 30s. He
Oh my
graduated college.
Oh my god,
That's bad.
So a grown adult.
that's terrible.
Enjoy your last summer in San Antonio. So it's not looking good. But
I'm gonna hope that that's just an in-joke.
talking about the Spurs though, man, they did
I don't think
collapse.
that's a joke.
I wouldn't call it a downfall because they're so young and they weren't really on a high yet, even though they were in the finals. But
Beating by 10 in each game, though.
Wemby, for all the talk about him being the next GOAT and all the talk about it going from Jordan to LeBron to Wemby, this is a pretty disappointing Wemby series. I'm not gonna lie. From the turnover from the throw out the back turnover to the missed free throws in back-to-back games, this is just not a good Wemby series. Cat kind of owned him. Like, Cat won this series against Wemby. Even though Wemby had better games statistically, Cat in games 1 and 2 was talked about being the finals MVP. Because Brunson was shooting so bad. He was showing up both ends of the floor. Like, Wemby at no point was even talked about being the finals MVP. Even though they were down, but like, Wemby just wasn't in those talks. He was outplayed by Cat. Like, and that's just what it is. And for those conversations about Wemby being the third GOAT, the baby GOAT, I think this kind of stained that image, even though Wemby going to next season is the best player in the NBA. I don't know if you guys agree. It's just what it is. Wemby's the best player in the NBA right now.
I'll still give Shea the edge, defending 2-time MVP, but it's only a matter of time.
Hey,
Y'all seen Shea's training videos?
yeah,
Jalen Brunson.
that guy's getting loose. You know, more flops on the way. But
35 points in the finals. Jalen Brunson.
Practicing the foul baiting.
and Omar, if you want to call Brunson the best player in the league right now, I have no arguments.
That's a beautiful thing.
I have no arguments, which is unbelievable. I have no arguments. A 6'1" player being the best player in the NBA. Who would have thought it in 2026? But when Wemby did defensively, he was unbelievable in Game 5 on defense. Like, he was fucking amazing Game 5 on defense. That's why he's the best player in the league, because the two-way shit is just like, it's undeniable at this point. He's going to be. He can't have a bad game technically because he's gonna have an amazing game every game defensively.
What
it's
I'll
just
say
if he
is
shows
he
up
had
on
a
offense.
he had a great first half, but he did like fall back a lot.
His stamina's
that second half,
not
bro.
there. He don't got the stamina, bro. He need to tap in with Curry, bro. He's tall. I understand. He just doesn't have the wind. Like, when he gets to 37, 38
Big
minutes,
men, bro.
he's
Big feet, big
burnt,
energy.
bro. Like, the only game I've seen him from end to end just be like, I got the end. It was game 1 OKC when he had that 40-something point game and he hit that crazy 3 to tie the game against OKC game 1 and they end up winning. That's the only game I think I've ever seen him just have the energy end to end. That game, was it game 4 where they were up however many points and he went 10? He was 1 for 10 in the second half of that game. Missing shots at the rim. Literally, Andrew Reese me-bound misses. Like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, bro. Like, Wemby, when he's gassed, he shows it. Went to the free throw line, short arm both the free throws. Like, he has to work on his stamina. If he gets his stamina up, he will be amazing, bro. But he cannot play. He cannot play over 36 minutes yet. It's just what it is.
Marbury.
And another thing I want to say about Spurs, Dylan Harper is the future of that team. He's the second best San Antonio Spur. And I've been saying that since the beginning of the playoffs. He's the and people talking about, bro, he hasn't done enough to be that. Eye test. I keep talking about eye test when I watch basketball. Casuals don't understand eye test because casuals don't watch basketball. If you watch basketball games, you would know Dylan Harper is probably the second or third best player after Castle. But I think he's better than Castle because Castle was a literal no-show in the elimination game. Literally 1 for 9 in an elimination game.
Well,
and Dylan Harper was the best player in Game 5.
That's on Mitch Johnson. That's 1,000% on
Him,
Mitch Johnson.
Steph Castle going 1 for 9 is on Mitch Johnson?
Yes, bro, because you have to make that adjustment. If your guy is not playing well, you got to make the adjustment, take him out,
Omar,
put somebody in who's
he's the
playing.
best
Dylan Harper was literally balling out this series, bro.
But he's the best Brunson defender. He can't come out the game.
Him and Dylan Harper
was better
in my
defender.
opinion, are the same.
Lefties guarding lefties is the best matchup.
Statistically, that's not true. Statistically, Jalen Brunson's best defender was Stephon Castle.
Yeah, and analytically, it's Cleveland versus.
No, analytically, the numbers back up. When Castle was on Brunson, he was shooting around lowish 45% range at the highest.
Brunson's regular average.
But I'm saying that's not like the most efficient in the world.
He did nothing.
At one point, going into game 2, he was shooting 32% when guarded by Stephon Castle in the series.
And then he adjusted because
that's
what
I'm saying. You can't be like, he's not making shots. Let's just take the youngest, most athletic defender off the floor.
You have to adjust that though.
I do honestly. I feel like Dylan Harper was the best Jalen Brunson defender. When you look at the entirety
That's
of the
what
series,
I'm saying, man.
I'm saying statistically. It was Castle.
It was statistically Stephon Castle because Stephon was literally in for more time than Dylan Harper. They literally rolled like
that's not true because it goes by shot attempts on that person.
It also goes by averages. Listen,
you guys both have great cases, but when it comes to the grand scheme of things, Steph Castle, Men Thompson,
We're arguing about the wrong guard here. Should have been Fox not in the game.
Best perimeter guards in basketball.
You're kind of right as well.
Castle has to be in the game. I don't care if he's 0 for 10 just for defensive reasons. That's why Asar Thompson gets minutes. He's a bottom 30 offensive player in the NBA. He's a top 3 defensive player in the NBA. He just has to be in the game. So Dylan Harper next season, though, he has to be the starting point guard for the San Antonio Spurs. His handle is unbelievable. He gets to any point of the court he wants to. It's just his playmaking. Can you get the ball to Wemby, like Earl said, get him in the easiest spots possible? We all know Steph Castle's not there yet. Those 2 games in the OKC series, he only had 21 turnovers in 2 games. He's not there yet.
If it's supposed to Summer Reeves, he'll be fine.
They need a guard that can get him the ball in spaces, bro. And I know it's probably too early to do trade machine scenarios for De'Aaron Fox. He's gone, though. And the conversation, draft week is coming up. The draft is in less than 2 weeks, or about 2 weeks. June 24th is the draft. He will be traded by the draft. I'm not
easier said than done.
He has to be gone.
That contract is too big, man.
I'll take a deal on that.
It's too big, Jay.
So here's my case. Here's my case.
What team's buying him right now?
He's a starting point guard in the finals. How many teams wouldn't take a chance on that? I know.
Give me a team right now who's taking him right now after that. For that money.
I agree with Jack.
Houston Rockets?
I think there's a little too much recency bias here.
Last thing they need is another guard who can't shoot.
I also think that's why the Spurs are going to hold on to him. I think they're going to give him a chance next year. They're going to start the season probably with him. Harper's still probably going to be coming off the bench. But I do think if you're San Antonio, if by mid-season, De'Aaron Fox is not really maybe the injury still is bothering him or he's not kind of returned to that all-star level play that he was at from the regular season this year. And if Dylan Harper is coming off the bench and he's in not just sophomore, he's in sophomore of the year conversations or 6th man of the year conversations even, I think you absolutely have to entertain the De'Aaron Fox trade. Because I do think a healthy De'Aaron Fox can absolutely help this team win a championship. But with how much he's being paid, with how good Dylan Harper could be, you got to find Harper minutes somewhere. And he was phenomenal in this series. So I do think the Spurs will hold on to him past this offseason, definitely past the
That's a nasty
draft.
contract to
I
trade
hear
for, bro.
the injury shit with Fox. He's missing routine pull-up jumpers. He challenged OG Anunoby when he literally just supposed to snake around the rim and kill clock. That has nothing to do with the bum ankle. That's just some stupid shit. I don't know why. I still don't know why he did that. He was not good.
Why did the Spurs roll with him after that, though?
Bro, Magic Johnson
it's not it's like you gotta understand.
Double down on playing De'Aaron Fox in the fourth quarter of Game 5.
I'll say this
you can't double down on that after a move like that.
It's not even. It's the fact that they were all out there, but you gotta pass it to the one dude, and that's on everybody on that court. That's on Wemby. That's on Fox. That's on whoever else was in that lineup, and Dylan Harper didn't touch that ball. Mm-hmm. At that point, he was the best offensive option on the floor. He had to get that ball
over Wemby. That's how good. That's how a sure thing Dylan Harper was at one point. Nobody can stand in front of him. He's getting to the rim.
The Knicks could not keep
series
Dylan
well.
Harper out of the paint this whole series. And,
That
I
would
was
have
so
been
impressed by him.
That would have been the
He put more
Harper
pressure on the
game.
rim than any of the Spurs' other guards.
And they have a 7'5" alien who couldn't get some rim as easy as Dylan Harper. That just goes to show how good that he was. Like, how was he not playing more minutes? That's the Mitch Johnson criticism I have. His lineups just didn't, like, Luke Cornett was fucking awful this series. 0 Luke Cornett minutes. Mitchell Robinson made Luke Cornett look like he shouldn't be in the NBA. Like, every time it was Mitch Robinson, he got 4 offensive rebounds every single game Luke Cornett was guarding him. Luke Cornett couldn't keep Mitch Robinson off the glass.
Well, that's just Mitchell Robinson.
And then you gotta add to the fact,
like, he just
Unless
shouldn't
you're
have quit with him.
Wembanyama,
I agree with you, but then it's like, who do you throw in, bro? Kelly Olynyk? That's worse.
Throw in Biz. Let Biz Miamo foul out. You see what he did in OKC. Just let him foul him at least. Hold him. Like, Luke Cornett's too soft. He won't even foul Mitch Robinson. Like, Luke Cornett was soft in this series, bro.
They
talks in
in
2020.
the series.
Hey, Wemby said, hey, Biz, come here. Foul the shit out of everyone. Go in there and just hold Richard Robinson's hand. Do something. Like, Mitch Robinson
got another flagrant point.
Bro, so to just end off my talk with the Spurs,
by the way.
End off my talk with the Spurs, Fox is gone. I think it's stamped in paper.
Okay,
He's
so Jim,
officially unfollowed the Spurs. It's looking bad. It's looking like it's over. He unfollowed him and his
it's
wife.
looking like a really
officially
unhealthy,
unfollowed the Spurs. It's looking like he's gone.
I'll stand on it.
looking like a bad
Fox will
breakup.
not leave this team this offseason, and he will be on that team to start next year.
I
Standing on
think
it.
I think he'll be
side Earl
gone.
on this.
I think he'll be
So-
gone.
The
You guys-
Spurs
you guys know my
the Spurs
stance
have
on
never
this.
been an organization to just throw away players, bro. We're talking about a historic franchise that prides themselves on not only keeping talent. Well, I won't say in-house because he's not in-house, but
Actually-
they're a big second chance opportunity franchise. They never will trade you after your worst year. The only reason Kawhi Leonard isn't a Spur is because he forced himself out of the Spurs situation. Even when he had the injury problem, they were willing to ride it all the way out to the end until he said, "I don't want to be here." That's who the Spurs are.
So this is off the top of my head, boys. I literally just thought about this as Earl was talking about the Spurs. So you wouldn't do a Fred VanVleet, Jabari Smith, another player, and a pick for De'Aaron Fox. If you're the
Rockets don't do that.
Yeah, bro, that's a hefty price.
why would
Why would the Rockets do that for a Fox?
I think when they're
De'Aaron
both
Fox
healthy,
is not bad. He just wasn't good.
But
this
he's not
series.
Jabari good.
You
when
think
they're
he's
both
better than
healthy, I
Jabari
think VanVleet
Smith?
and Fox are
I'm
both-
saying for
Jabari Smith?
the team fit, and you're giving up Fred and Jabari to bring in Fox. How does that
Yeah,
push you towards winning a championship with that same roster?
All they needed was a guard. Jabari Smith was fucking awful last playoffs.
And you're getting.
No,
you're
he
also
was-
getting.
he was the only
Why would
team-
the Spurs
the only
do that
player
as
who
well?
actually kept winning the series versus
hoping
us.
that a guy on an ACL tear, 34
Fred
years old,
VanVleet
is
is
going to
the
come back and
ideal
play amazing.
starting point guard for the San Antonio Spurs. Like, he would.
I'm sure
do
that's the
wonders for that
case,
team.
but it won't be for long.
That's all. Dylan
I mean,
Harper just needs one more
technically, you
year.
don't need him to do that for
Exactly.
long,
Dylan Harper
to be
needs
fair.
one more year in the backseat, and then
Bro, I don't even think Van VanVleet plays again. It's going to look rough.
I'm saying it would be a
he's older
fantastic deal for
and
the
he's
Spurs.
coming off ACL.
Yes, but I don't know if the Rockets do that.
if I'm the Rockets, I'd absolutely trade for De'Aaron Fox. Amen Thompson, De'Aaron Fox, KD, Şengün. Is that not a top 5 team in the West?
Literally, I just smell barbecue chicken. For the Western, I would love that to happen. Dude, you get rid of the one dude who can shoot the ball and stretch the floor, and everybody else is like sub-minimal shooters. I'll take as a Lakers fan, I'll take that all day. That's easy work.
I would really love some barbecue chicken.
Oh, Şengün's in the post right here. I got you. Şengün hook spin.
That team would probably average 10 3-pointers made a game. Not even, 8. Probably 8
Could it be
made.
any worse than what San Antonio just did? San Antonio
Probably.
could not shoot the ball this series. They got.
Yes, they could.
They
The
had a
Knicks were starting to
good.
guard him well.
They had a good game 4. They shot 12 for 17 in the first half, 4 for 17 in the second half.
They need
Yeah.
a closer. They need a closer.
Told y'all before, bro. It's an easy solution for the Spurs, bro. Very easy solution.
They
Literally,
need
just
a
go get Kawhi again.
closer. That's it.
I'm so serious. Fix the relationship problem, whatever. Hey, Popovich, I know you're not really with the team anymore. Let's talk. Kawhi, Popovich, let's talk over the summer. Get in a room. Let's all have
and then when they bring up
a
Kawhi,
comeback meeting. Hey, we had our wrong. I was here.
Kumbaya.
We were young. Blah blah blah. Literally, you add Kawhi to this team next season. I think they're the favorite for the next 10 years. 10's a stretch. 5. Sorry. 4.
They definitely
4.
need, I think,
3.
more shooting and more
4.
height. Because I think that was one of the areas
Kawhi's
that
got
4 minimum.
kind of got not
maybe,
exposed,
bro.
but like
4 minimum.
they are a very guard-heavy team, and especially when Keldon Johnson, kind of their one big forward off the bench in the rotation,
on the
isn't giving them
Spurs.
good minutes. It was rough for them.
Max,
So I think they could definitely use more.
Max, you just cooked. That is also I also have this idea. I think they need another big. I think Wemby's a 4. Wemby's officially not a 5.
No.
Yeah.
Wemby,
No, they-
I don't know if you
No.
need another
The
big, but I
amount-
do think
They're gonna
a true
draft a
power
big.
forward.
You could get a big 4.
the
They're gonna
amount
draft
of
I wouldn't be
offensive
opposed to like
rebounds.
a 6'10" 4.
They're
But
gonna
like,
draft a big.
Cat is a monster on the rebounds versus Wemby. Mitch Robinson versus Wemby, monster on the rebounds. That's just the Knicks alone. There's other dominant rebounders over
the only
Wemby.
way, Jay, the only way that they can actually fix that is if you get some weight on Wemby. I'm sorry.
No,
He-
you just
he
bro,
can only be a
all
certain
you gotta
way. He
do-
can't be no bigger.
It's a
Like-
simple solution, guys.
I don't believe
What do the Spurs? What do young teams do when they're in a problem, bro? You draft. All you have to. They have a good pick this year. I'm pretty sure. What is? It don't have a top pick this year, like 13-ish range, something like that. All you gotta
That
do
is
is
a
draft,
great
bro.
question.
Draft the tallest big at 13, and you're good. It doesn't matter. Skill-wise, he'll develop, man. Go send him on the train with Victor Wembanyama and Hakeem and the Monks, bro. He'll be fine. Just draft the biggest big you can find who specializes in rebounding, and your problem solved. Easily, floor level already will be better than Luke Cornett. No disrespect to Luke. He moves to your third best center on the team, and I think that's fine.
Spurs have the 20th pick via Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
they could get a decent big at 20.
Yeah.
I think their bigger problem is genuinely needing more height at the forward spot. And I also think that that's why OG Anunoby had such a good series against them, is because the Spurs really don't have anyone to match up against OG Anunoby. Because it's like Julian Champagnie, Devin Vassell, they're not big enough. They're not strong enough. And obviously, when you put Wemby on him, Wemby doesn't have the lateral quickness or the foot speed to keep up with a guy like OG. So I think it was this Spurs was probably the best matchup for OG Anunoby that the Knicks could have possibly gotten, because he always had a matchup advantage no matter who was guarding him, and hence why he went off for 20-point games, the 33-point masterpiece in Game 4. So if you're the Spurs, I think you really need to get a true power forward to start in place of Julian Champagnie. Not that Champagnie is bad, but I think he's more of a small forward in my opinion. I think he'd be great to come off the bench for them. I don't know that Keldon Johnson is the starting power forward in the NBA right now, although he did win 6th Man of the Year, but his finals minutes were not good to say the least. So I think if you're them, you're trying to find who is that like I forget which one you said, like Omar, maybe like a 6'10", 6'9" and strong wing power forward to play next to Wemby and alleviate some of that rebounding pressure from Wemby, alleviate some of the perimeter defense against taller guards in the league, or taller forwards in the league. What's up, Jay?
Worst 6 man of all time, by the way.
When's the last time
That award
actually
was
mattered on the
dreadful.
team?
I
to win a
couldn't believe he
championship.
won that award.
Who else was gonna win it though? Like I feel like there weren't many standout 6 men. Like some years it's like there's a clear guy, or there's a clear top 2 or 3. Who was really in the running? Who were even the finalists other than Keldon Johnson this year?
It was Keldon Johnson, Tim Hardaway Jr., and whoever they had third, I thought should have won it, because I just didn't think Keldon Johnson.
Let me look it up.
The fact you don't remember his name tells me he shouldn't have won it.
Boys, as much as I would love to stay for the rest of the podcast, I do have to go. I got to handle a couple of things that I have to handle. So I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in with me. But I got to
All right,
go. You guys got to continue.
Peace, brother.
You say it, though.
Yes, sir. We'll talk to y'all soon. Peace out.
Go Knicks.
Adios,
Go
Omar.
Knicks.
Enjoy this. Let me see. I'll try and...
It was Keldon Johnson, Tim Hardaway Jr., I forgot who was third.
Jaime Jaquez?
And that
Jaime
other...
Jaquez. I thought Jaime Jaquez was 6 man a year.
True. I mean, yeah. I just feel like in the grand scheme of things, I'm not losing sleep on 6 man of the year. But I did like Jaime Jaquez. He was on my fantasy team, so he definitely was hooping.
I don't know how you guys think that the Spurs trade is a bad trade for either team.
No, I think it's just I don't think the Rockets do it, bro. I just don't think...
If you're the Spurs and you get that offer, yes, you take that.
You take it immediately, for sure. I'm getting Jabari and Fred VanVleet. It's a home run, but for the Rockets, it's just like... I feel like it makes them worse. Not because Fox is a bad player. I just think you're losing a lot of shooting for that team. A lot.
Yeah, that already struggles with shooting. And
that's their biggest problem.
I think when healthy, VanVleet and Fox have very similar ceilings and impacts. Like, I don't even know what Fox
I think we're disrespecting De'Aaron Fox now. I think that was pretty crazy to say, Max.
De'Aaron Fox, it's not that crazy.
De'Aaron Fox is a 22-7 guy at least. He's playing with Wemby and Stephon.
Okay, so why are you trying to trade him then? If he's that good, why are you trying to trade him from the Spurs?
So, and I have this theory, same thing with the Thunder. It's too many guys. It's a too many guys type of thing on the Spurs where they lose him. He's the oldest one, is the only reason he's out. Just like I feel like the same with the Thunder. I think they should trade either J-Dub or AJ Mitchell. They have too many guys. You cannot win in this NBA. You can't win with that many guys unless you have the power of friendship like the New York Knicks, to where you literally can just take a step back. OG Anunoby, Cat, and Brunson, all those guys are friends. They know their role. The Thunder are all young guys. They don't know their roles. They have too many guys that need the ball who need to eat. Same thing with the Spurs.
I don't think that's the same with the Spurs. You know why I say that? It's because it worked in the regular season. The biggest problem to me is just the mental collapse of De'Aaron Fox. Like, nobody was saying this about the Spurs and their chances with Fox when they were winning games, when Fox was impactful.
Oh no.
No one said this when they were favorites against the Knicks.
I've been documenting saying De'Aaron Fox is gone the entire season.
I mean, true. I was with you, by the way, too.
I think De'Aaron Fox, no matter... like I said, they had to win a championship for them to keep De'Aaron Fox. They did not win the championship. I feel the exact same way. He can't be on the team.
But I feel like, to that point, it's just a lot harder of a deal to make now because of what happened.
Because of the mental collapse, which I agree.
The contract was already there. Like, we already knew the contract was looming. Cool. But now it's real. It's pen to paper. When you sign it, when you look at it, wow, 48 million. 51. 58. 61. Like, when you look at the next 4 years of that contract and you're trading as a GM, things feel a lot more real when your recency bias is the NBA Finals and the mental collapse you just witnessed. Not coming for him as a player. I still think he's still a good player in the league.
He's a great player when he's healthy.
When he's locked in, he's fully healthy for sure.
He was an all-star this year. He was an NBA all-star.
It's just like, y'all said his ceiling's the same. He just made a fucking all-star team as a second option. VanVleet is cooked. VanVleet is a maximum. VanVleet is a max 13-8, 13-7.
No.
Next season, I got. Oh, you want to play this game that I with Harden and Okay, I'm gonna play Harden.
Yeah,
I got Fred VanVleet this year fully healthy. He's going to be averaging at least 19-8. Book it, floor,
bro.
19-8.
I gotta look up Fred.
Write it down. His last fully healthy season, I think, is around like 17.5 and 6 or something like that.
And he's coming off an ACL injury at 32 years old.
It's bro. With modern technology, bro, I'm not really worried about the injury.
Fred VanVleet, 2024, 2025, averaged 14.1 points per game, 37.
How many games did he play that season?
60 games, 37.8% from the field, 34%
what about the year before
from three,
that?
5.6, 17.
Okay, I'll go for the year before.
Like I said,
years previous.
He's averaging 13-7 at best. That is
way
worse than De'Aaron Fox.
18-8 floor next year.
Not with a man and KD on his team. He's averaging 13 at
literally,
most.
bro. Dude, I'll say this: their biggest struggle is shot creating from the guard position. Fred VanVleet, when put in the right system, is a guy who can not only create for himself but for others. Kevin Durant specializes in playing with ball dominant guards who can score. Steph Curry's in the world, Russell Westbrook's in the world, and that opens up his game. So I think in this fit with Kevin Durant and the way this system works, I honestly think that Fred VanVleet will get back to the numbers where he should be, floor-wise 18 plus.
I don't see that happening. I think Fred VanVleet, that 13 game on the Spurs would do wonders because you're going to see a jump from Wemby, jump from Fox, jump from Castle. Everybody in the Spurs, Carter Bryant's going to be playing more minutes.
But now talk about the jump from the Rocket side.
they're going to go from a guy that's averaging 14.1 points per game to 20 points per game in De'Aaron Fox. Fox
and their biggest problem is going to remain no shooting.
Yeah.
They're still going to have Reed. They're still going to have... I don't know who's going to shoot. It's going to be KD.
KD and Reed. Hey, oh my gosh, we're down by 3. Triple team Kevin Durant. Amen Thompson, De'Aaron Fox, Alfred Schenk.
I know Jabari Smith and this.
Jabari can blow you out with a crazy random 3.
They're going to need shooting. They're going to need to sign some shooting.
Jeff Green for 3.
They're going to need to sign some shooting. I agree.
Tari Eason when he lost his shot for like 7 months of basketball.
Yeah, when Mama Eason was getting on Instagram talking about lethal shooter, where you at? That's how I knew it was bad. But
you said it, not me.
I just think it's too much recency bias to get rid of Fox right now.
I agree. You never sell this low, bro. Never.
Yeah, true.
Never.
If Dylan Harper is ready by the trade deadline, you definitely entertain off.
Risk that,
you don't have to rush
You don't risk. That's just too long, man. The guy's ready now. How did he not show you that he's ready now? Did y'all not see?
I'm not disagreeing that he's not ready now.
He was giving the Knicks work.
Look,
absolutely.
I agree, but you still need him to develop as a playmaker. At a fundamental core, if you're running Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper as your 2 main guards, who is swinging the rock? Unless you get LeBron James on this team, then you can ship out D Fox instantly. Stand on it.
He'd probably have to be shipped out for LeBron to make that money match.
And that would be a smart deal, but we don't want him. And 3-team trade that thing. Woo. Bing bong. Send it off.
I can't wait to see LeBron in blue and gold next season on the Warriors. I just can't wait.
Somebody told me, shout out to my last thing I'll say about this. I actually became mutuals with a Spurs reporter. He's been working there for a very long time. And he told me that recently LeBron James has been hanging around San Antonio a lot. Like as of, we're talking about NBA Finals the last couple weeks, chilling with Greg Popovich. I'm not saying he's going to be a Spur. He's not saying he's going to be a Spur, but he's been saying he's been around San Antonio a lot this summer. So we'll see what happens.
I think he's just trying to find some good golf destinations. Let's just...
Yeah.
And I guess Popovich is the guy with the sources for that. I'm sure he's seen a lot of good sources back in his day.
Smart enough to see what going to Golden State did for Kevin Durant's legacy. I think the last thing he wants right now is to be accused of ring chasing with Wembanyama for his final year.
Or it's the final arc. Lamentor.
Jesus Christ.
You know what's funny though? Instantly, he'll be the best big he's ever played with. And I'm including Anthony Davis in that conversation, by the way. Yeah. And I don't say that lightly.
Yeah. No, that would be true.
I'm being so... Like, okay, just humor me for a second. LeBron James with Wemby, come on, bro. I'm just saying, I'm literally just saying. Let's just rewind. Let's just rewind. I'm not even going to talk about the Knicks, but let's be objective this year. If LeBron James and Wemby were in the same team in this playoff run, do the Spurs not have a better chance in general to win a championship?
They would have won the championship. LeBron is not a fourth quarter bum.
LeBron is not throwing the ball at the back of his teammate's head.
And LeBron and LeBron in the De'Aaron Fox spot, instead of getting blocked by OG, he's left him punching that, or he's just gonna dribble it out. He's just not gonna do it.
No, LeBron would snatch De'Aaron Fox's layup out like when he's about to take it and go dunk it. It was still out of his hand.
Yeah, I honestly think that the Spurs do make a move, guys. I'm standing on that. That's my final take on the Spurs.
That's fair.
I think Fox is gone.
I respect it.
I definitely don't think De'Aaron Fox will be gone by a trade deadline. Or by the
by
NBA
draft.
I'm standing with that too.
Giannis is also gone by the draft.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Really?
Giannis, he's gone before draft.
2 major trades on the way by draft.
The only reason I say that now is because of the draft picks. A lot of deals that involve Giannis are going to include top picks in this draft. So you have to make it before draft night for things to make sense.
I mean, or you see which team drafts who where, and then you're like, we want this guy.
They don't. I mean, typically you don't see that a lot. Like
it's not
with trades. You don't really see that.
With how long we've been talking about a Giannis trade, I'm not making a bet on when the Giannis trade is happening. That thing could happen today, as soon as we stop recording. That could happen in 2030. At this
Sarah,
point.
what are you about to say, Earl?
Nah, I'm tripping. Let me chill.
There's no smart money on the Giannis trade. Unless you have insider information, I would not bet money on when that is happening. That could be at any time.
Before we end soon, I want to give my I guess this counts as an end of season podcast. I want to give my one hot take to let develop for the year.
Okay.
Here we go. Hey man, I'm bringing back real hot takes, bro. I'm tired of that safe stuff, bro. We out of that, bro. I'm going back to prime Earl on these podcasts. My hot take is this: the Washington Wizards will be a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference next season.
See, there's a difference between a hot take and then just saying things that don't.
The Washington Wizards will be a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference next season.
Okay, I'll pen in a hot take as well.
Talk to me.
Hot take for me. I'm gonna go. Portland Trailblazers will be a top 5 seed in the West next year. Portland Trailblazers.
Love it.
I can get more behind that than the Wizards.
I love that take. Right behind the Lakers.
Yeah, they'll be a top 5 seed for sure, in my opinion. Dame back, Denny, same team, top 5 seed.
And I got the Lakers being the first seed, biasly. Yep.
I think he got him. Well,
yep.
Max,
you got a better shot at that than the
Max, give
Wizards,
us your
but-
hottest take before we wrap it.
I gave you 2 Stanley Steamers.
I might take the Wizards not being in the playoffs next year.
I don't think they're gonna be in the playoffs either.
Okay, I bet. Watch. We're gonna do this. Wizards are my adopted fun team next year. Actually, I've been watching the Wizards. Shout out to Natalie, she put us on to the Wizards. But I've been casually watching the Wizards for the last 4 seasons, 3 seasons, something like that. Somewhere around that range.
You've been decently plugged into the Wizards.
I've literally caught myself watching a lot of Wizards games. I do play fantasy basketball. We do, yeah. And I have some Wizards
we gotta get you in our
players
league.
invested. So
Come on.
I have to be in that league because it sounds like that shit's unbalanced.
There's a 98% chance I'll have you in that league by next week.
So, Earl, your take isn't crazy because AJ, Trae Young, Keyshawn George, AD, Bub, who else do they have?
Will Riley.
Because remember, they have 2 trades now. Trae
2
Jones
trades.
and
It's true, they do.
that shit is kind of great. That in the East,
Bro, fundamentally, when we talk about the new recipe for NBA teams, to me, they have one of the deepest young core teams. Because when you think about this roster now,
and Alex R.
all your players who have been starters for the last couple seasons are your bench now. They've been playing, I know they haven't had their best track record, they haven't won a lot of games still, but we're talking about NBA starters for that team move to your bench. Now they have real veteran experience on that team. Trae Young, no matter what people say about Trae Young, he made a deep run in the playoffs, played impactful basketball. The only reason, I'll stand on this, that they didn't go farther is because he got injured because the referee stepped on the back of his ankle, and then after that, Giannis went off crazy. Never the same. And it's a fact, bro. He was outperforming Giannis in a series where it was Giannis and Trae Young. Trae Young was arguably the best basketball player playing ball. You can look at the stats. I'll stand on this because obviously I live in Georgia and we watched every single one of these games. It was crazy just watching. That's the closest Atlanta will probably be in a long time. They're way behind now. It's cooked.
Hey, listen. If you're Atlanta, you got to be feeling pretty darn good right now because you took 2 of the 3 losses off the Knicks that they had in this postseason.
That is true.
Do you think the Knicks are gonna the Hawks gonna be better next year, Earl?
No, I think they are, but I'm saying compared to where they were, it depends. There's a lot of factors, right? I see the Jaylen Brown stuff. Cool, if that happens, that's a huge step compared to what they're supposedly giving up. Cool, but I just gotta see what happens,
Even them just re-signing CJ, and then the draft pick they have the 8th pick. The first 14 are great picks.
If I'm the Hawks,
if you told me you have 5, cool. Not saying 8's not good, but you know what I mean. If you told me it was they got 3, I'm like, woo.
I think the Hawks are gonna be really good next year.
I think they're gonna be good too. I'm just saying my point is I didn't even finish the take I was giving. Also, Anthony Davis is an NBA champion, right? He could have been Finals MVP. That's just a fact. And Anthony Davis, I know he's had injuries. Cool, that's going to be the main big here. Anthony Davis, injuries, whatever. But regardless, even floor-wise, when his offense wasn't there, his defense... Oh, we didn't even say Alex Sarr, by the way.
He just broke his foot.
Oh, okay, my fault. I was going to say, I don't think we said. But Anthony Davis and Alex Sarr, to me, are almost... obviously, we haven't seen it on paper.
That's a top 5 front court in basketball.
But that is a... yes, it is. Max, in the world of basketball right now... By the way, I'm making this take fully healthy. That's the only thing I can do with these takes. In the game of basketball right now, name me a better duo than AD and Sarr defensively in the NBA. Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. Name another one.
Wemby and whoever he plays next to, just straight up.
I'd go Wemby and whoever he's next to. No.
Okay, that's
Wemby, two. Wemby and whoever he's next to, and I'm going Alex Sarr and Anthony Davis second.
I think Holmgren and Hartenstein.
No.
Sarr,
is a defensive
Alex
player.
Sarr averaged.
Chet would be defensive player.
Alex Sarr was top 5
but
in
Hartenstein
blocks.
to me is
AD's
not
always
that
top 5 in blocks.
Spectacular.
Those two together.
You gotta think like fundamentally those two players together. Like okay, just say matchup wise.
Your mic is going crazy right now.
Oh, my fault. Is that better?
Yeah.
Matchup wise, okay. If we go Chet and AD, even if the biggest people in the world would say Chet, cool, okay, whatever. We can argue that all day. I'll still take AD. I'm sorry. But
over
when you go
right now,
yes, on defense,
yes, right now on defense,
even as a player,
do you understand, Max? Do you understand how much he carried the Lakers' defense, even at the tail end? He was the hub. Like we literally called him the hub. Like everything that happened with our defensive scheme, Anthony Davis. But that doesn't matter.
That was 2 years ago, Earl.
Okay, but look,
that was 2 years ago.
Okay, cool.
He's been injured multiple more times.
Okay, cool. But I'll add this to the fact. Okay, Isaiah Hartenstein, Alex Sarr. Who are you taking?
Defensively, Sarr.
I think it's close
by a long shot.
It's not close.
I think it is
defensively,
close.
Not close. Statistically, it's not close.
Pull up Alex Sarr's defense stats. He was amazing this year. Like over 2 blocks a game, I think.
I think this just maybe this is Knicks bias, but man, I know
Bam
really underrated.
It's because the Wizards aren't on TV. They're not flashy. Like I get it. The Thunder on TV a lot more than the Wizards.
Of course, Sarr is a good defender.
No, he's a great defender.
Minus the Bam game, Alex Sarr is that guy on defense.
Yeah, that game don't count.
I think the gap between Chet and 33, 34, 32-year-old injured AD is greater than the gap between Sarr and Hartenstein.
Alex Sarr,
I would take that duo.
2.0 blocks per game, 0.8 steals. Like,
and Hartenstein's probably like 1 block, half a steal, something like that.
Yes.
He is a very good rim protector and a very good rim deterrent. I think the advanced analytics would back me up on that. I don't know exactly what they are. Again, I'll give Sarr the edge,
and
but
Anthony
I don't think
Davis
it's a crazy gap.
Is still a top 5 defensive player in basketball, is my point.
I just don't know that I can say that with confidence with the injury history right now. If you can tell me we're getting 70 games of healthy AD next year, I'm with you.
But it's just the fact
that has nothing to do with the skill.
AD, when he's on the court,
it's 0-0, start of the season, no injuries right now. I'm taking AD.
That's why I hate the fact that the Mavs traded him, because him with Cooper and Lively would have been unbelievable for the future. Even though AD probably has
it was really
2 or 3
hard to
more
run
years.
that team with no Kyrie too. Like
yeah, exactly.
You're running the whole team with no guard.
Kyrie exists.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
This year, right? Like, he's gonna be.
By the way, I seen him a couple weeks ago. It's very scary how he's moving like that already. We ball. Like a week ago, I seen him out there getting reps in.
Kyrie could have played this season. He's been healthy for a minute, but
it didn't make sense because the team sucked.
Just like same with what's his name? Like Tatum was healthy, but his team was good. He came back. If your Mavs were good, Kyrie would have came back.
I just think with your Wizards take, Earl, that's a situation where I do think there's maybe too many, as Omar loves to say, too many cooks in the kitchen. Like, I agree. They have...
Name the cooks.
They have... I mean, you name them all. They have probably the biggest, like, the largest young core in the whole league. Like, they have 8 quality young players on that.
The Jazz would like a word. The Jazz would love a word.
But what do you think? You think the problem... What do you think the problem will be like?
I think the problem will be until... and I know that they have Trae Young and AD right now, but I think both of them, we saw with the Hawks with Trae Young, they just had their best. They played exponentially better once they traded Trae Young. That's a fact. Anthony Davis, 32, I want to say, coming off these injuries. I just don't know that we're going to see prime AD again in Washington. And again, you say like, oh, assuming health. I think there is a point
Westbrook had his best season post-Thunder in Washington.
You can't assume health anymore. What?
I said Russell Westbrook had his best season post the Thunder on the Wizards. Average almost a triple-double.
That
Washington does something to you.
Westbrook is not as old or coming off as many injuries as AD. And there was also, again, fewer, just a different scenario on that team. He was also playing next to Bradley Beal. I see a season of
and AD's playing next to Trae Young.
Probably more injuries for Trae Young. Probably more injuries for.
I hate that, bro. Why do we have to do the injury bit though?
Well, I think there are certain players. I won't do with Trae Young. I think that's fair. But there's players like AD and Joel Embiid. You can't assume health anymore. I'm assuming that that's just how it is. They're injured to the point where I'm not assuming they're going to be healthy for a full season.
This is Trae Young's first season actually being fully injured. By the way.
Yeah, so fair. I won't use the injury thing on Trae Young, but probably a season of injuries for Embiid. Trae Young, a huge defensive liability that actively made his last team worse. I think that was pretty clear. They got way better when they traded him. That's not a good sign for a player when a team trades you and you get better.
You know he's going to be surrounded by? He's going to be surrounded by Keyshawn George, Bilal Coulibaly, Alex Sarr, and Anthony Davis. He does.
Okay, but
he is literally.
That's the best defensive thing he's ever played on.
Trae Young, hide me. I got these guys around me. Team.
Here's what I'll say. If this Wizards team is going to be good, and I'll say this even for going past this year, Trae Young cannot be the best player on that team. One of their young guys, or probably multiple of their young guys, have to evolve into all-star level players. And I think that's kind of what we've been waiting for with the Wizards since kind of the Westbrook Bradley Beal.
AJ DeBonce is right there talking.
True. And maybe he will.
And the thing about Trae Young too is
they've just been stockpiling the really good young talent. They've been drafting every year and bringing in young guys like Cam Whitmore as well. He's on that team too. They just keep kind of stockpiling these young guys.
Not for long.
Waiting for one of them to take that step and be the guy. That just hasn't happened yet. And maybe this is the year Bilal Coulibaly takes that step, or Alex Sarr takes that step, or Trey Johnson takes that step. Yeah. But until I see one of them come out and it's yes, this is the guy they're building around, I don't think a team built around Trae Young and this level of AD is going to be a contender.
I watched Trae Young. Look, the thing about Trae Young is this, bro. Trae Young, every year in the NBA, until last season when he got injured, he's increased his assists per game in every season he's played in.
Earl, you lean on that stat every year, but the results don't get much better for
The results were in the prime of his career. He got his team to the Eastern Conference Finals until he got hurt. That was the peak of his results, by the way. With a roster
5 years ago now.
With a roster that's way worse than the roster he's going to right now. Easily way worse. That's a fact. His best player next to him was John Collins. And that's no diss to John Collins. He was great he was good that year. But that was his best player. And look at where John Collins peaked right now in his NBA career. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, but that's 5 years hindsight. In the moment, yes, his team wasn't as good as the Nets or the Bucks in that year.
But I'm talking about skill-wise, he's playing with the best players he's ever played with in his career. Jalen Johnson, I feel like, is probably the best player, which he's great. He's emerging as that star player potential for sure. But now you're going into a team where you're playing with AJ DeBonsta. You're playing with guys like I won't put Bilal in that conversation. Anthony Davis is a great center. AD is the best big he's played with, by the way.
You mentioned AJ Johnson, or you mentioned Jalen Johnson.
What do you do with Clint Capella, bro? I want people. Hey, shout out to Clint. Clint Capella is a merchant of a good playmaker. Let me chill. All right, let me chill.
Talk about Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson's played his best ball without Trae Young.
I mean, look, he was already starting to do that with Trae Young there. By the way, he was already there. So that narrative to me is so nasty.
We can make that same argument for the Thunder. Thunder won more games without J-Dub. I don't think they're better without J-Dub. Same thing with the Lakers. They started off, however, without LeBron the first month of the season.
And Luka.
And Luka winning games without Luka. When me and Earl literally saying no Luka, I'm not like defense is unbelievable.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't want Luka to come back today.
I don't think you can make that argument with the Thunder because the Thunder won a championship with J-Dub and did not win it without. Did not even make the finals without J-Dub. I think that's
valid. But I mean, just saying, the sample size for
how far have the Hawks made it without Trae Young so far?
It's just not
first round of the playoffs.
Listen, Earl, you could argue they're the second best team in the NBA this year.
Who?
They took 2 losses off the Knicks.
Fair, but they didn't make it past the first round. Trae Young did.
Again, we're talking 5 years ago.
Hey, still.
Every year, it gets 1 year removed. And it's like, yes, it happened. At some point, you got to do it again.
I understand the point. I understand the point with aging, sure. But one can argue
just
like
aging, but just like the game and just who he is as a player and how the league defends him and how he evolves. Like, just at some point, like
that also depends on who's around you as well, bro. When you're at the point where you're the guy on a team who doesn't really like you said, maybe it's a situation where he plays even better because he's not the main guy. Like that could be
I think if this Wizards team is
that could be a point as well. But
I don't think Trae Young is the guy on that team. I think he is like a second or third option. They need a
which is fine, I think.
Top guy. I don't think Trae Young is the top guy.
Bro, We'll see.
But by our next pod, y'all, we will be talking draft, hopefully. Draft?
Yeah.
We gotta do some studying, man. I've been really keeping up with the draft stuff. I have my top 5. Hopefully by the time everybody comes back on, everybody will have a better idea what the draft looks like. Draft is June 24th, so hopefully we have that pod out by then. Give y'all some trade scenarios because it's gonna be a busy offseason. We're officially in offseason, man. I know the Knicks won, but after the parade, we gotta lock in and move forward with the season, man. You know,
yes,
Knicks are still the champions, but yeah, we gotta move on. We will have our next episode out soon, talking about the draft, some trade stuff, and yeah, I mean, this is a great episode. Hour 30 minutes. We got it in, man. But
yes, end of year special episode.
Facts. We got a little bit out of the conversation today, but that was fun. Always,
man.
Hey, it is the off season now, so if you made it this far, we very much appreciate you for making it this far. We appreciate everyone for watching all of our content throughout the year as it's kind of evolved and changed. We're figuring stuff out, but we're in a good spot right now. Podcast is back. We are on Spotify now, so please check us out on Spotify at the BTB Show over there. Also, our Instagram, our TikTok, I think they're both like the BTB Show or BTB Show _. It'll be in the description. But yeah, check us out there. We're going to have content coming out on those platforms all summer long. We're going to keep going through draft, through free agency. Then we'll do our usual. I'm sure we have to go back and look at our preseason predictions because we always do a ton of those videos over the summer. So I don't think any of us had the Knicks winning a championship this year. So
I did. No, it's fine.
All right. So you'll have to show me the receipts on that one.
I'm lying.
But we will have plenty of content coming out. So subscribe onto the YouTube channel if you don't want to miss that. Like, comment down below what content you want to see us do over the summer. We're open to ideas. So thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed the NBA Finals. If you are a Knicks fan, hope you are enjoying this moment. We will see you next week talking some NBA draft. Adios, everybody.